This mystical story was told by a nurse from a Russian hospital. Her name is Vera. Most people believe that death is a bony old woman with a scythe, or even a skeleton in a black cloak. I have seen death. Thank goodness, not my own. She was very beautiful. After completing medical school, I was assigned to work in a nursing home. There, I became friends with Elizabeth Mironovna. The old lady lived in a separate room, without neighbors. She probably pays well, I thought when I first saw her. She never complained. On the contrary, she often joked about herself and others, sometimes quite harshly. Overall, she was a very eccentric lady in her 90s. I ended up here of my own free will. I have no children, no family, a professor's pension, an apartment in the city center, decent savings. When I felt myself weakening, I sold everything. My home, my country house, my valuables. I put the money in the bank, and a trusted person manages it. And here I am, moved here. The only relative is my niece. She never communicated with me and didn't even call. But now she visits frequently. Why would that be? Her niece, a chubby, sweaty woman with greasy hair, disgusted me. Once I overheard her exclaiming to a man waiting for her in the corridor, "When will that old wreck die, anyway? She has no more heirs. Vera, come in when you're free." The old lady called me then. Dispose of everything Senior brought. If she did something underhanded, throw it in the trash. Make sure no one can find and eat them. Maybe she wanted to poison me, and poor homeless animals, or people might get poisoned. Our facility was located outside the city in a forest park zone. If you missed the last bus, there was no way to get home. That happened. That time. Couldn't make it to the last bus? Elizabeth Mironovna asked. Come to me. Today, an old friend brought a delivery. Lots of delicious things. Let's feast. I want to indulge myself before death. I saw death yesterday. My own death. She came, sat on the edge of the bed, looked at me reproachfully, and then said, "You forgot to remember me. Correct thee." "Mistake. I'll come for you." "No. You'll die for a long time." Agonizingly. "Like me. Do you think I've lost my mind?" "No. Let's pour a glass of wine. I can do anything now." In the evening, it started raining, and we lost power. It happened quite often. I brought a candle to Elizabeth Mironovna's room. She drank a bit, although it was strictly forbidden. I refused. I committed a great sin. I sent a young, almost unknown woman to the other side. How did I ruin her? Oh, I was 25. Graduated from university, wanted to pursue a career in academia. Then I fell ill. The doctors diagnosed cancer. What treatment was there in those days? I was withering away before their eyes, and I didn't want to die. She sighed, paused for a moment, and continued. So I turned to an old witch. She advised me to transfer the disease elsewhere. Warned, though, you'll change your fate, give death to someone else. But what will happen afterward, no one knows. Decide for yourself. Did I listen? I wanted to live. I had to take my most beautiful dress, recite a spell on it, tie it a certain way, and throw it at a crossroads at midnight. Then, without looking back, go home. A tailor made that dress for me on order. I loved it dearly. I had to part with it. I did everything the witch said. And you know what? I started to recover. The doctors couldn't recover. The doctors couldn't. Believe it. The old lady fell silent. And then I met her, Ekaterina, in my dress. She lived on the next street. I asked a mutual acquaintance where she got that dress. They said Katya bought it at a second-hand store. How it ended up there, I have no idea. And 3 months later, Katya was no more. Cancer. They buried her in that dress. And since then, my troubles began. I got married, wanted a child. God didn't give it. My husband left for another. So I lived my whole life alone. I had everything. Money, an apartment, a country house, made a career, but there was no happiness. Open the window. It's stuffy for me. A gentle breeze swayed the candle flame. Suddenly, Mironovna tensed, grabbed my hand. Do you see her? A female silhouette detached from the wall. It slowly approached us. I became scared, screamed. The vision disappeared. So, you saw her too, the old lady said affirmatively. Let's remember her. I didn't want to harm her specifically. I just wanted to live. Well, why justify myself? If not her, I would have transferred my deadly illness to another woman. Let her forgive me if she can. Okay, go. But I couldn't fall asleep. There was such a storm outside that it drove away any sleep. I decided to go and check on Elizabeth Mironovna. She lay with closed eyes, and the same young woman sat next to her, holding her hand and speaking softly. I am your death. I came for you. I don't hold it against you. I accepted your death. You lived my life. What is scarier is still unknown. I was horrified. When I came to my senses, the window was open, the candle was extinguished, and the old lady had passed away. I hope her death was peaceful. I saw death, even if it was someone else's. But now I understand. Everyone has their own, and its appearance is perceived differently by everyone.